function is now covered. Okay, fine. So now let's get our focus on objects. So as I have told you, these are basic objects. Uh, from here, the actual um, tutorial of R is basically beginning. I mean, uh, the previously what have you learned so far is, I'm not saying it's rubbish. It's important, obviously, but here is the true aura, or what should I say, the true work that made R and popular language lies. um, this is vector, this is list. Okay, so let's talk about vector first. So what is vector? Vector is basically an array when we are talking about our objects. So why we have not named it array, why vector? Well, that's a point of argument, but accept it. Vector is more fancy name. So this is how we are going to create a vector. uh, so let's see, vector, the creation of vector can be done in these several ways. You can use the function c, and can separately give the argument. Okay, not this dot, let's say 4. Okay, so that's how you can create a vector. Another type of vector creation is using the vector keyword itself. Okay, so using the vector keyword, define the data type and the length of the vector, you can create the vector, and by default the value would be 0. Okay, so using vector keyword would be another type of vector creation. You can also use the function range to create the vector, and also a sequence. Okay, so these both of these functions are valid. uh, Pretty much they are doing the same kind of work. Apart from that, there is a very superb syntactic tool from which you can generate vectors, is uh, any integer number, colon, and then integer number. So this would be your starting number. This would be a number at the end, and by writing this thing, you can generate a vector from this number till this number with a step of 1. Okay, so if I write like 1 to 10, it will give me the vector of 1 2 3 up to 10. So if you have remember, um, this type of syntax we have used in our for loop. In for loop, instead of 10, we have used the length of x, which in turn gives you integer as well as the return of the length function. And so we will have size of the x in integer, and that thing will generate this kind of sequence or the vector. So these are several ways using which you can generate a vector. Uh, this Using this C function and this shortcut kind of thing, these are most popular way to generate, and this actually comes handy when you want to do some programming in a very fast way. Okay, so what does that C mean? C is actually stands for combine. So what does C do? C basically takes the list of vectors, or let's say a list of homogeneous data type, and then uh, convert all its argument into a single vector. Okay. Now if if we are applying a non-homogeneous data type, like here a number, here a string, then what happens then? Well, it will automatically convert the data type into a single one. So the kind of implicit type conversion takes place over this phenomenon. Now, the interesting thing about vector is vector are the collection of similar data types. So, if you want to create a vector which is of one argument or one element is of integer data type, and other is let's say this boolean or logical data type, then it's not possible. Uh, in fact, one integer and other numeric or double is also not possible. So either it do kind of implicit type conversion, or it will not allow you to generate this kind of database by, it won't show you error, but it will give NA. N stands for not available, or sometime not a number, and this kind of thing we can interpret by NA. It's basically, if you have used SQL, you might be familiar with null. So NA is a kind of null for this R, or if you have used Python, then there is none, NONE. So NA can be used as those kind of key chunks. Well, after vector, we have another type of uh, object which is matrix, and matrix is basically a dimensional extension of the vector. Now, if you haven't observed, uh, the vector you are seeing cannot be extended to let's say more than one dimension. Yeah, that's actually the main problem with vector, because as you have seen, vectors demands the homogeneous data type. So when any of my function will give, let's say I have v1, v2 and v3, three vectors, which all of three are holding the same data type element. And if I'm using the C function and combining those v1, v2, v3, still I'm not getting any like 2D element kind of structure. What happens is the elements of v1 plus elements of v2 and elements of v3, so all the elements of these vectors will get combined and will be represented in a single row, and that in turns be my vector. Okay, so that's why the vector cannot extend itself in multi-dimension, or let's say matrix basically extends vector in two dimension. Okay, so we will see how we can extend it in more than two dimension. So that's why we are using this matrix, and this is basically syntax of creating a matrix. Now you can see that this matrix is created, but it has no value. In fact, the data type itself is kind of not specified. So when this matrix is printed, when you will write M on terminal, this kind of output you will get. So it will show NA, NA,